We don't even have those families yet that say, thank goodness that my child was able to be on my health insurance until 26 because there was this tragic issue. And had they not
So you
been,
believe that people will eventually, given time, they'll come around and they'll like it?
it depends. You know, the healthcare companies are still running the healthcare. It's funny because
God forbid that.
Yeah,
right?
but can you
healthcare companies running healthcare. Oh my God!
All these people are thinking it's government run. It
is government. It's government run now. It was government run before he passed that reform.
But it's being run by these healthcare companies. They're still doing it. They're still involved. What they don't like is now they can't eliminate people for what? For a preliminary what's the term? The
pre-existing
condition. So now you can't eliminate folks for that. So that you have to tie people into a job because they can't switch jobs because they're afraid. They're pre-existing.
I think you got it backwards. They know what's in it. They know what's in it better than the people who voted for it. That's why they're so angry. They're doubly angry. First, they didn't like it, and then when they went to the town hall meeting, their representative had the gall to say, "You're wrong, but I didn't read the bill."
You're talking about, you really think that I would question anybody who tells me they know exactly everything that's in that bill.
People have called me who've read the bill.
The whole bill.
People, listen to me.
And how it's going to implement
it on their website and annotate it. They've worked harder on this bill than the members of Congress worked on.
Let me tell you, the state hasn't even come up with the rules, this state, on how that bill will be implemented.
That doesn't tell me anything. I'm telling you, it's different now. People don't have to wait for a professional politician to tell them this is how it is.
Well, that's the wrong person to wait for.
The internet, they can find out for themselves. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy that in 2 or 3 years we're going to realize, oh my gosh, we were wrong. This is great. No. This is what we wanted. It's a fantasy.
The question is it better than where we were? That's the question. No, this is great. This is better than we wanted. The question is it better than where we were? That's the question we got to ask. And we haven't given any time to even implement the law.
I have to disagree. I think people already know where this is going. They see the early warning signs already.
People think they know. The state hasn't come up with the rules on how to implement it. It hasn't even been implemented in this state, other than pre-existing conditions, and now that you can be at 26 and can't be carried on your parents.
We're back with the lightning round of Gang of Four. It's 11:27 on KTSA. 11:32 on News Talk 550 KTSA, Friday morning, Gang of Four. On the gang today, attorney Jimmy Parks, State Representative Jose Menendez, and political consultant Michael Shackelford. It's the lightning round. We're going to go through several stories very quickly and just get your really quick reaction to these stories on Gang of Four. New York Daily News reported this week that the state of New York, which, by the way, is broke, is way deep in the hole, is going to spend $28 million changing all of the street signs. Every street sign has to be changed because they've figured out, some genius, that putting them all in uppercase letters, if it says Smith Avenue and Smith is all uppercase, takes a person a little longer to read all uppercase letters, and that's a distracted driver. So we're going to change all the signs to capital S, lowercase MITH, $28 million. It works out to about $100 a sign. Really?
One word. Stupid.
I mean,
that's what adds to people's aggravation with government. No common sense. The funny thing is, in 1997, when I was running for office, back then the big deal running for city council was the BIH contract, how the city had given away the store on our convention center expansion. Right. All I had to do when I was knocking on people's doors, I just want to run to bring a little business sense and common sense down to City Hall. Yeah. They got it.
Yeah.
Just sort of bring a little bit of their thoughts. Normal. Yeah. How would this apply in my household?
I want to know why it costs $100 to change the street sign. I'll fix their signs for $60. Good grief. Swine flu. Remember swine flu?
Yeah.
Yes. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. It could kill 50% of the population. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
This week, the Centers for Disease Control says swine flu no longer represents a major threat because it turns out now most people are immune to the swine flu. Gee, did that just happen, or could they have known that all along? Really?
Yeah, I don't know how you figure something out like that out, Jack. Yeah. But for crying out loud, we should have been the first to know. See, because I don't eat pork. I won't get around a pig.
Yeah, you've stayed away from pigs. Yeah,
and I finally learned it on your show, except one or two that I had to date.
I understand. Knew that was coming. Knew that was coming. How is the recession hurting us? Here's how it's hurting us. According to a new study, 2009 was the worst year for marriage in 60-plus years. And the theory is that people don't get married during tough economic times. I would think they'd be getting married more just to combine their incomes. You'd have somebody to share the bills with. But apparently this recession has been devastating to marriage.
I wish that was my excuse for being single.
That could be your excuse. Start using that.
Yeah, I bet they
What is
heard
your
it.
excuse? What is your actual excuse?
Don't have
No?
one.
Oh, come on. You brought it up.
No.
No? Okay.
All right,
Move on.
Go hear about it.
It's like passing to other people.
No, they probably
It's not
heard
a
about
game show, Michael. You can't pass your turn to somebody else. Does that make sense? Is that, Jimmy, that what people would be
I think a lot of them
dissuaded?
have heard about Liz.
Oh, now see,
She's a professional shopper. She has a union
I
card.
think you guys have it backwards. Look, let me break it down for you. You marry a girl, she got a job. Then you get all these gifts. You can completely stock your house. You get all this stuff for the kitchen. I mean, in a recession, this is the time to get married 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but who's going to buy the gifts? Hey, but what if you're inviting people who lost their job? I mean,
people feel obligated to get something.
Wait. Every
wedding,
wedding, every wedding costs a lot of money.
They just put it on there.
Every wedding costs a lot of money. So
have a cheap wedding, but get a lot of great.
I think
expensive
people
presents.
are being responsible. Look, I mean, our saving rates in this country is the highest it's been in a long time, is it not?
Yeah.
The savings rate.
But that's because people are panicking. That's not because we've really changed our ways.
And good. I think they should.
Can I say something?
You know what though? It's like 6%. And in India, it's like 30%. So it may be a little higher than it was, but I don't think it's anything to write home
No, it's a
about.
lot higher than it was. It was like 1%
It went
or
from
no
3% to about 6%
So it's
in the
doubled.
last few years. But it's still too low.
But our debt's down too. Yeah, I agree with you. But at least we're moving in the right direction. We're
I blame gay marriage for this statistic.
Hey, let me.
That's
Jake,
a real threat to marriage. So they're afraid of this gay marriage.
Listen, let's don't get off the subject because I want to bring a little sanity to this group. And
It's way too
from
late
a guy
for that. Where were you an hour ago?
From a guy who really thinks that it may be time to get lucky. Look, here's the deal. Marriage should be about love and showing respect for a female, letting her know how much you care about her. It should have nothing to do with the recession or the like, right, honey?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. He just made up for all the other wisecracks he made. The Army has announced this week that they are going to discontinue bayonet training for Army recruits, raising the question, why were you training them with bayonets? I mean, what else are they going to,
What a coincidence. I did that with the kids,
no more sword
too.
fighting either, I guess, right? Yeah, it says the last time the Army had a bayonet charge was in 1951 during the Korean War. So they're not expecting to use the bayonets in the future. But 1951 to now to figure out maybe we don't need that anymore.
We could put them out at the metal detectors.
I actually
in the
liked
airport.
it. Yeah, when I was in the Army, I really enjoyed
You liked
that.
bayonet training?
I like the bayonet training.
Well, I'm glad you got in there. Well, look at you. Man, he just did a little did
demonstration.
We get that on the camera?
It looked dangerous,
Wow.
Michael.
Did they really train you in that?
Oh, yeah.
They have a dummy, and they fix it onto the M16 or M4 and just stick it in and turn.
Look at that. Look at the
Yeah,
expression.
you
on
see
that?
that? His face changed completely.
He went like warrior on
Oh,
it.
yeah. He's going to a whole nother level.
You know what I think it is? I've been picking on him for that bow tie, and he's getting more and more frustrated. I'm going to get a bayonet in the gut. All right. Recently, when a man found out that a 15-year-old boy had been messing around with his 14-year-old daughter, he took matters into his own hands. Since he happened to be a police officer, Jose, you may want to take notes. Since he happened to be a police officer, he went to the youth's home in uniform and staged a fake arrest, claiming he was detaining the boy for sexual assault. As the boy's parents looked on, the officer/dad handcuffed the boy and gave him a 5-minute dressing down about his conduct before letting him go. The boy is now the cop is now on administrative leave. The boy has changed his underwear. Kind of like Robert De Niro in Meet the Parents. The whole deal with the hooking Ben Stiller up to the lie detector test. But what about that? I mean, do you cut him any slack because?
No, I've been there. I've been there and done that. Yeah, I've done it. But see, I'm not a cop, so they can't.
Yeah.
So they can't put me on administrative leave. All I do is I just take the outfit back to Gibson.
I'm telling you, part of me really likes this. I know you're not supposed to do it, And most of us couldn't do it, right? Because
No.
we don't have the uniform and the handcuffs.
No,
well, maybe
to
some
all-
of you have the
to
handcuffs.
all those law enforcement officers who already know, I mean, everybody knows that's just a
You can't do it.
You can't do that. It's just abuse of your position.
But he did fix the problem, Jose.
He may have fixed it
That
temporarily.
kid will not
No. Let's go
step
back.
out
Let's
of
go back to
line.
where we started on the cell phone stuff.
A little Rodney
can't-
King never hurt anybody.
Yeah, no. So let's back up, guys. Look, it's hormones. He's not going to be able to change that kid's hormones. Or you know what? He may have changed behavior. He may just stop seeing the girl, but that one girl. But he's not going to change.
I don't know. I think my hormones would be in a jar on the shelf at that point. The attorney for the police officer, you'll like this, Jimmy. You'll appreciate this. Says it was done in the spirit of reaching out to a troubled youth. Like he's Mother Teresa, you know. It's an act of charity.
Yeah.
It should go down on his community service record. But anyway, I think we can all, on some level, Jose, I know I appreciate the moral tone you're striking, but I don't know. I think on some level, some visceral level.
As a
we
dad,
can,
I get it. I
you know,
understand. Yeah, but
he, look, you know what guys do? This is what we do. We see a problem. We figure out what tools we have around the house. We do the best we can with the tools we have.
he could have
That's what he
invited
did.
him to the shooting range. You know, he could have just on his own time said, "Hey, come on, you know what? Let's go to the shooting range." And while he's shooting, you know, into that target, talk to him about
Maybe
how,
put the kid's face on the
That's
target.
why he's such a great
he-
state rep.
he
He's
could've
so
changed-
reasonable and
he could
rational
have changed
about this stuff.
the. You know, it's not what you say; it's how you say it. And see, his problem was what he was wearing while he said it, and what he put on the kid's hands.
Yeah. I don't know. I still like it.
No, I understand.
I'm hearing the Cops TV show theme in the background
Yeah,
while he does
yeah,
this too. It's
yeah.
fantastic. All right, a big thank you and a great wishes for a great weekend. All three of you did great today.
Thank you.
Michael Shackelford, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
But watch the bayonet, okay, on the
All
way
right.
out. Please be careful with that. Jose Menendez, whatever you're doing with this exercising and diet and everything, keep up the good work. You look
we
great.
can have a health show anytime you want.
You should come back and talk about it sometime.
It'd be fun.
Because you know what? We have too many politicians telling other people what they should do to be healthy, but you actually, you're walking the walk.
Maybe Lisa can give him a physical.
That's an idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's
What's
an
it, what?
idea.
Lisa.
No,
you don't know.
that didn't sound good. I'm not
Turn your
going.
head and cough.
I am not going there. I've got a doctor. Thank you very much.
On his next appearance on our show, he'll take
Yeah.
all of his clothes
Yeah,
off. and,
no,
we'll give
sorry.
him a thorough examination,
No.
and then Michael will bayonet him. Jimmy Parks, thank you very much. It's been
Thank
good
you,
to have
Jack.
you
It
here
was
as well.
probably the greatest morning
I
of my
hope
life.
Liz doesn't kill you when you get home. You may get the bayonet. All right, more Jack Riccardi 10 to 1 is coming up on KTSA.